Welcome to the channel and this first look at a game called Nantucket. This game was released on the 18th of January 2018 if you're watching this in the future. So this represents my first new game of the year. It's an intriguing game, guys. It was made by a small indie company called Picaresque and published by a company called Fish Eagle. And the main theme of the game is the golden age of whaling, which ran from about 1820 to the end of the century. There's also a main mission based on the Moby Dick novel by Herman Melville. So you can say this is a whaling simulation game with an RGB element in it. You can really get into it, and I must admit I bought it out of curiosity and it kind of drew me in. I've spent about 4 or 5 hours actually playing it now, and in some ways it's one of these games with a very simple concept, but it does draw you in, guys. And I think we're just going to kind of jump straight in, guys. And you can see the game starts with character creation. Obviously you're playing the captain of a whaler who's going to go out and make his fortune, and you can actually name it. I think I'm going to be Captain Silverbeard. Why not? Obviously Ishmael comes from the Herman Melville novel. And what you actually do is this screen, you actually choose your starting skills. Now I'm going to kind of give you guys an advanced tip here. The game ends, or you lose the game, when you die. So when you're considering what skills you want to get into the role-playing aspect of thinking about it. And as you can see here, hunters were men without fear, born to chase their prey. Sailors, scientists, and obviously craftsmen. And the way I look at it, guys, is if I'm captain, I'm not going to be down at the front of the boat hunting. I'm going to be the guy up on the poop deck sailing the ship. So I'm going to go for sailing. And once you've selected your primary skill, what you need to do now is kind of come down and collect a trait. And what you've got here is plus 1 point spent on attributes, 2 damage against sea creatures, 50% hit points regenerated during navigation, 1 hit point per level, or 1 health point per level, and XP gain. And I'm going to actually go for XP gained per day of navigation, because obviously I'm going to be the captain, so I'm going to be sailing the ship. So I'm just going to go there, and what we're going to do now is just click play. And for some reason it wants me to do the tutorial, but I'm going to end the tutorial here.
Drink ye, harpooners, drink and swear, ye men that man the deathful whale boat's bow. Death to Moby Dick. God hunt us all if we do not hunt Moby Dick to his death.
Cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm. I was cursed twice by the Lord for my blasphemous promise to hunt Moby Dick, and by Ahab for surviving the Pequod and its sons swallowed by the sea. I was craving to conquer my spot in heaven by striking my iron in Moby Dick's heart. So I headed back to Nantucket, looking for a new ship and wealth-seeking sailors.
Must admit, guys, I do like the graphics in this game. You can see here. Now, when you start effectively in the port of Nantucket. Now, if any of you guys are not familiar with the history of whaling, Nantucket is effectively an island that was in a very small place, and it is even today a small place on the coast of New England in the US. However, during the height of the golden age of whaling, it became almost one of the richest places on the planet because of the sheer wealth that was generated by the whale oil that was brought ashore there. And eventually Nantucket was taken over by a settlement called New Bedford, which was on the mainland, partly because the whalers got so big they could no longer dock in Nantucket. Anyway, that's a little bit of history there, guys. Now, this starting screen has got 4 points. You've got a tavern where you recruit your crew. You've got a newspaper down here where you get missions effectively. This is where you buy supplies from the merchant, and of course here is your ship. Now the ship we start with is a pretty basic ship. I mean, the general theme of the game is you start with a very simple ship, a very small crew, and the idea is you go out and build your fortune, and eventually you can start recruiting these ships. Now what you need to be aware of, guys, is that to get these ships upgrades, you've actually got to build these requirements, and this is what kind of draws you in on the game. I don't think, I'm just going to skip out of there for the moment, guys, because obviously the first thing we need to do is actually get a crew, and you actually recruit the crew from the tavern. And what you get is each one of your crew members here has a skill. So you've got cabin boys, which have got no skills. You've got your harpooner, who is probably a key member of your crew. And then of course you've got the navigator, and as the captain I'm the navigator. You've got the craftsman who repairs the ship. They also do other activities to do with try-works. Now if any of you guys are not familiar with whaling, try-works was a installation on a ship where they actually rendered the blubber down to oil, and it was an incredibly dirty, smelly process. And of course you've got the ship's physician, which was also another important member of the crew, because obviously whaling was an incredibly dangerous profession, so it was quite common for the crew to be killed or maimed. And please bear that in mind, guys, when we get into the combat situation, bearing in mind that if the captain dies, the game is over. Anyway, we're going to kind of recruit the crew, and one you actually want to look at here, and the way it works, guys, is we've only got 4 prestige points, so our crew has to be balanced between that. So if you come here, if you recruit this guy, that's it. You can no longer recruit only cabin boys. That's the way it actually works. And what you're actually looking for is, what's this, morale amongst crew members. And this is random, so I think sometimes if you can go out and then come back in again. No, it doesn't think. You've got to leave port. What we got here? Ira. I'd like Ira, but he reduces morale. I mean, this is a good skill. Fasten. Now, this skill was actually based on the fact that when they actually hunted whales from the small boats in the 1820s, they actually attached a line to the harpoon. So the harpooner would stick the harpoon into the whale, and then the whale would have to drag the boat along, and it was used to actually tire them out. What we got here? Got none of these guys non-swimmer. We certainly don't want them to be a non-swimmer, because he could end up in the water. I think what we're going to do is Donald. He's got no traits. He's got, what's he got here? Seasick trait. I don't really want that. Combat gains. Die gains emergency kit in combat. Restores health points to multiple targets. That could be quite a good. I think we might rehire him actually. And I'm gonna have to come back to here. I think I'm inclined to do is actually just get a cabin boy as a here. This is quite a bad draw actually, guys. Oh, what we got here? XP during days of navigation. Orphan, lay captain. Lay goes to captain. Okay, I think we're going to hire Nelson. And I think what we might do is here. Gerald, what have you got here? Orphan. Well, maybe we'll go with what we got here. Sociable traits, moderate trait. Okay, maybe we will 100% grog construct. Yeah, don't like him. Ira. I do like this skill, but he's going to have a negative effect. I think we're going to go with Ira. I mean, he's going to have a negative effect actually on the crew morale. But I think that's a reasonable starting crew. Now, you got to remember, guys, is that this can actually change. You can hire and fire these guys, although when you fire somebody, you actually lose 1 prestige. So we've got ourselves a crew, and of course what we're going to need now is supplies. And what you're looking at is about 100 days of supplies. So you're going to have to spend your money on roughly 100 days. And I mean, it sounds a lot, But what you need to remember is historically whalers spent years at sea. Sometimes they'd be at sea for about 5 years. When I mean at sea, I mean on a voyage. And so we've got that there. So we've got our supplies. The other thing we need to do, guys, which I've forgotten about, is what you want to do is invest some of this money in some research, because I'm building up the role of captain as I want to go for navigation. And it says research sales technology has started to take 90 days to complete. Just do that. And the reason for that is that the faster you can get around the ocean, the better. And of course down here we've now got the newspaper, and what we're going to do is accept this, because that's effectively the first mission, which is to go and discover a whaling area. So here we are, guys, we are on the map now. The map is pretty big, guys. And the way you navigate it is by effectively right-clicking and just moving like this. But what you can do is actually press the shift key, and you can do this. And when you're actually out exploring, what you want to do is just move distances like this. And if you actually speed the game up, there we are. It says here we've got our first combat. If you've done a full distance, you may not actually get this message. So we're in our first combat, creature encounter, and you can see deployment. And the combat is very, very much turn-based. And now, as the captain, well, we need Ira in because he's the harpooner, and he's got this really wonderful trait of bleeding. We're going to have Wilbur in because he can actually heal people. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put myself in for the start with, because it's early in the game. But as I said, if the captain dies, that's it. And of course we're going to be fighting the narwhal, so we're actually doing here. Now pay attention to these messages that comes up here. It says sea creatures with special abilities are disabled. And it's actually basically turn based with a roll in between. So you've got to roll, and we've got, you can see a tough strike. We didn't get anything there. So clear water effect, so you can see we've already taken damage, and we're going to roll again, and we've now got a strike. But you can see here we've also got first aid, we've also got protective maneuvers, and effectively I'm fighting with a single harpooner, and the way you actually attack is like this. And of course we've actually killed it because we've got Ira. This comes back to what I was saying, is that you want to start with a good how can you say, whaler. Now we've discovered a whaling area here, and if you put your cursor over here, you'll see this is open from the 21st of December to the 19th of March. So it actually pays to hang around here. And the way you can do this, you can either move like this, and if you move round, it says here lower the whaleboats and lead the hunt. So here we go. This could be said to be the repetitive part of the game, because obviously we are effectively just repeating over and over again, but it's well worth it in the start of the game to do this, guys. And it can actually be. So, and if you click here, you can go last used. I'm going to keep using myself for the moment, and because I want to build up a little bit of skill there. Science dice won't enable commands. Okay, so what you can do is change this, because his science won't work, and that protective maneuver, and I think we're going to protect Wilbur. And see, this is so it's not all about the so he actually attacks him. Okay, thank you. And Ira's taking some damage. Sea creatures' special abilities are disabled. Yeah, so you can use the other skills here, and if I do this, he can actually heal people. Protected maneuvers, and I think we're going to protect Ira. And of course he hits Wilbur in the center. Okay, thank you. Hit points. It always gets me the fact they actually get 3 attacks. Okay. So we're just gonna, of course he's now got fasten, and we just kill the narwhal outright. Bleeding resisted, victory. Okay. And we got a little bit more there, and you can see also that by gaining the food, we actually get extra food here. And this is something you kind of need to bear in mind, guys, that if you go out and do the whaling, you don't actually ever have to buy food again. Now, our crew is I've taken some damage, and if you expand here, you'll see that these guys have taken some damage as well. And I've actually didn't do this. I actually need to be up on the cockpit like this, and well, Wilbur's injured. If you put the crew member down in here, they will actually heal up. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to sail up here now to discover this. So we're going to come up to here, and this will be our mission. There we are. Lower the belts and check the error. Creature encounter. So here we go again, guys. And I think this time Ira's a bit damaged, so I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to give oh no, I think we'll keep no, okay, let's clear our let's give Nelson a go, actually, because it should be relatively simple. I'm going to assign Wilbur and me, the captain. Okay. And crew member damage plus 20% windy. Okay. I think what we're going to do is actually, yeah, and he's got a clumsy strike, so we kind of got away with that, and they all turn fit up. So we got that, and of course we've discovered this area here, but we can't actually whale there because we're out of season. They could say time frame 21st of June to 21st of September, but of course we can get back to here. And by then, if we lower the whale boats and hunt, Ira should now be, oh no, okay, Ira's still injured. Okay, we're going to do last used, and oops, I've taken some damage as well. Oh, we got 2 narwhals. We could be in trouble here, guys. Tough strike, tough strike. Protective maneuver. I mean, we could have done one on ourselves. Okay. Deep water, no effect. Okay. I think what we can do is just do this. You can get in a clumsy strike on him. And I'm taking damage. Now you can always retreat if things get a little bit bad, which they could do. I'm going to risk one more roll, guys. But what I'm going to do is put him on health. First aid. So he's going to actually help me. And of course poor old Nelson's got it in the neck. Random crew member stunned. Okay, so poor old Wilbur is still stunned, and I think we're just put a protective. Okay, he had a protective maneuver, and he's still taking damage. Okay, the question is, do I risk? Okay, we're going to risk one more spin. Yeah, we got a clumsy strike. And the day is ours. Okay, and we got plenty of food. See, 201 food. I think what we're going to do is, before we do this, expand. I think, where's Nelson? I think we're going to have to put Nelson in there to be healed. Okay, and we're just gonna sail here. Actually, I think we're just gonna keep sailing around for a little while. You can see here that Nelson is actually slower. Actually, we can go back to Nantucket. Actually, oh, lower. Got another one. Ira's still not healed up. Okay, but I'm gonna risk it. But I mean, I've got the better. We're going to take Nelson as well. We're gonna have 2 this time. Okay, and we've got a single narwhal, so we should be okay, guys. Random crew member gets stunned. Of course, it's me. Okay. And we got nothing. Okay. I mean, it's very random. Wow. Poor old Ira. Okay, deep water, clear. Okay, we're going to risk one more. Yep, he's got a strike. We've got him. And we got... And I think what we're going to do now is head for Nantucket. And of course, once we get back to... It's there. One of your cabin boys is orphaned. Young man wants to become well-respected sailor one day. It's very paternal. Okay. Now, if you don't have the right traits, you can't do some of these messages. So we're just going to have to... And of course, poor old Nelson gets negative. And we're just going to enter harbour. Now, what actually happens, guys, is your results of the blubber and oil that you make is actually sold immediately. You can see our crew is healed up completely, and we made $227. And the lay is your share of the cargo. So my crew got $27 and I got $243. Now, the more experienced your crew is, the more you've actually got to pay them. Right, and of course, to get the rewards, you've actually got to cash in here. Now, it's very important with the rewards, guys, that you can only claim them back where you actually signed up for them. It's the same with the research, so it's not something that's universal. So if you kick off research in Nantucket, you've got to come all the way back to actually do it. And you see here, ends on the 31st of March, so we've got a little way to go yet. And this is my ship. We've made $817. I think what we're going to do is see if we can actually get a thing. I'm quite happy with Ira and Wilbur. This guy's orphan trait, he's not particularly that good. I mean, do we actually have anyone? I mean, this guy's just so good. And you can see we've also gained a bit of prestige. And we can actually have up to 5. But the trouble is, if you sack someone, you lose prestige. So when you're calculating this, guys, you need to think of a level 4. We got Martin here. He's a glutton. And he's not much better than an actual thing. And you can actually see their profile, what will actually come up when they actually have a combat. I mean, I don't want another sailor, because I'm the sailor here, guys. You can see here, I've got hit points. I've got 279 out of 1200 experience. Lawrence is teetotal. I'm not interested in that. I want to be the captain because I am the captain. I actually quite like the idea of actually developing these things. I think we're going to stick with who we got, and of course we need to get some more supplies back to 100 days. And of course we've got 219 days, so you can actually sell some of this stuff. So, because if you get too much food, this all consumes your cargo space. So I think we can come there, and that actually gives us $821. We're going to sail away, guys, again. And this is where it gets a little bit repetitive, but at the same time as it draws you in, I think is probably the way to describe it. You kind of get sucked in a little bit from the point of view of, and I think what we're going to do is we're just going to sail back to this area here. We've got a thing, so hunt whales, because obviously we've got, and if you put it over here you can actually see the direction. So we're going to hunt whales. Okay, lower the whale boats and lead the thing. Okay, now as you level up, guys, well, we certainly want Ira, certainly want Wilbur, and I think I'm going to indulge as well. So, it's a single narwhal. I think you can risk the captain in these low level battles, but eventually you're going to get to a point where things, so object dice size won't enable commands. I'm not sure what that actually means. I've got a feeling this relates to the die. It's hunting die. Cabin boy. Okay, we're just going to roll. Okay, we got first aid. I think we're going to give Ira, I mean, you can make yourself immune. Oh, great. Okay, rainy, clear effects, no effects. And of course we got a nice strike there. So this goes to show how important having a really strong guy here. So of course we're gonna grab some more food from here. Obviously the bigger, and what you can do is just press here like that, guys, so you don't even have to move the ship. The trouble is, if you don't move the ship, you don't get navigation points. And I think we're gonna last use, but I'm gonna take myself out and we're gonna put Nelson in because I don't want to die. Okay, come back. We're against a single narwhal. And this actually tells you their creatures play their cards face up, so there's going to be a tusk strike which is going to cause bleeding damage, but I think we're going to be okay, guys. Yeah, you've got a clumsy strike, so that gives Nelson a little bit of experience. As you can see here, he actually gets 30, they all get 36 experience each, and he gets a bit of a boost because he actually got a morale +5 because he actually struck the key fatal blow is probably the correct way of saying it. I think what we're going to do is actually sail a little bit so that I can pick up a bit of experience and I can also heal up. Although I think technically, I need to, as captain, I need to be here, so I can actually heal up. Actually, let's just sail around a little bit. By sailing around, you actually heal up. Okay, let's hunt whales. Maybe we'll just use the crew. Creature encounter. Okay, we're just going to use last used because they're all things, and of course it's a newborn narwhal with its tusk on the front. Okay, yeah, look at that. We got a. I think we're going to give him the clumsy strike so that he can actually level up, so he can actually get some skills. I mean, this is something you need to think about when you're actually starting this. Okay, I'm nearly healed up, so I think we can just get with this, guys. Doodah. And of course you get the sea shanties come in now. Whaling songs. They're quite good to listen to, but unfortunately it cuts off when you leave the screen. So if you want to listen to them all, you're going to have to stay on the screen, guys. Yeah. I think we're gonna. Oops, nope. Okay. Certainly want Ira in because I want him to develop that. I like the idea of keeping Wilbur in because he actually does it, and I think I'm gonna take part this time. And crew member commands cannot target sea creature commands. So I don't think we're going to be able to do anything. He's not going to come up. No, oh no, he's got it, and we've got him. Victory, and we've got a bit more stuff, guys. We've now got 204 days. Got a nice good kill there, and I think let's have a check, make sure. Yep, we're all healed up, so we're looking good, guys. So we're just gonna keep sailing here. Of course, if you don't move, you don't actually consume. Victory conditions. Okay, we're just going to use last used. Get the elite crew in. Yeah, I'm saying this when you first start, it does get very repetitive. Okay, so there's crew damage -20%, windy, adverse weather, and we've got a nice strike there. Just get in, kill the narwhal. Victory. We got 237 days, and I think we can just keep going, guys. As I say, it is a little bit repetitive, especially in these early days. Okay, we're just gonna last use. I think I'll do a bit of sailing for now. Okay, we're just gonna. Right. Okay, we're just gonna roll. Yep, we've got a nice kill. I know it looks easy, guys, but that's because I've got this really good with what Ira here. Right. And what we got here, we've got 12 barrels of blubber, and what you do need to do is keep an eye on your supplies. So we got enough food for 249 days, 87 days, and we got enough grog for 116. and we've got about another 90 days at sea. And what you can actually do, guys, is actually sail around and do a bit of exploring as well. So I think we'll do one more, and then I'll just do a bit of exploring and on our way back to port. So okay, we're just gonna have last used. Actually, no, let's withdraw me. Let's give Nelson a crack at it, so that he may level up. Maybe if we can level him up, that would be fun. Okay, we're gonna roll, and we've got the fasten command, and we've got the whales dead. Fasten resisted, bleeding resisted, victory is ours. Okay guys, I think that's enough for this. And what we're going to do is, and so just going to press the shift key, we're going to visit Hortia. I mean, obviously if you were playing, you would keep fishing or whaling here. What's the problem? With an abundance of food in the hold, a small crew, well, we're going to keep them on normal rations, because you don't want to consume all your rations. And of course we can enter the harbour here now, and we've actually sold. Now one of the downsides is the fact that when you sail in the port, it sells automatically, and that means you get a fixed price. It says the Sailor's Post, Maine is the 23rd state of the United States of America. Naval hero Stephen Decour dies in the duel. The Astronomical Society of London is founded to promote astronomy. Discover new whaling area. Okay, we're gonna accept that. Okay, it says 9 days away. Just gonna check and the price does vary here a little bit. We're gonna get you back to 900 days, and you can see here we've got plenty of grog. I don't know why we've suddenly got 103 in grog. Maybe oh well, get 144, and of course we're gonna sell off some of this so that we've actually got space in our hull. We got $1,100. We're just gonna sail off and see if we can find the whaling zone. Now the actual missions that you get from the newspaper are random, although they do seem to follow a theme. Right, we've got a whaling zone down here. Okay, and when you're sailing, you do need to plan the thing. So what you could do is, oops, no. What you need to do is sail here. You press shift so you can actually follow the prevailing winds, because winds and storms do actually affect the speed of your ship, also your captain. And I don't think my captain's actually okay. Well, shark encounter. Okay, this could be a bit more trickier, guys. So I'm going to keep myself. Obviously, we're going to assign there and Wilbur, and I'm not going to risk B. Poor old Nelson's going to have to go at this. Yeah, great white. Oh, it's only a newborn, so that's okay. Okay. And poor old Ira's got bitten. Okay. And he's actually taking quite a bang. Crew member cannot target sea creatures commands. Okay. Well, he can get in and get the great white shark. Dead. And of course, all we got out of that was food, not blubber, because it's not a whale. And okay, I think I do need to ship because I'm actually not in charge of the ship. Okay, that's a bit of a fail on my point. Ira took some damage, so he needs to go down here so he can heal on the way back. And we're just gonna now, obviously, we need to sail that way so that we're not sailing against prevailing winds. You can see the compass down here actually says the direction. It says no wind, and of course because I'm at the helm, we're actually getting a little bit more thing. Of course we made nothing because we made no blubber, but what we did do is, if we come here, guys, we can get a reward. You get $200 for actually discovering the thing, and we got 167 days. Maybe we'll just pop up that a little bit. We've got plenty of cash, guys. I do like to try and keep it over 100 days. Let's just see what we got in the way of crew. Okay, Lucas, because we got loads and loads of prestige, guys. So I don't like him. Closed-minded. Marteus. Now he looks pretty good. He's actually got extra blubber and try-works, and he's also good at repairing the ship, because this is ship repairs. I think poor old Nelson is going to have to go, and what we're going to do is, who is it, Marteus? We're going to bring Marteus in as a member of the crew. Okay, I don't think you can move them round here, can you? No. Okay, and what we're going to do is sail away. And you can see here, this wasn't a whaling area, and I'm on here, and what we actually want is you click you, put you down in here, because you're going to maintain the ship. You can see here we get 40% upgrade to level cargo space, and of course we got up here, he's the physician. I think maybe we can swap this round, because each one of these got and level, so he's leveling up quite nicely. He's, look at that, wow, he's going to take a long time to get somewhere. And I think what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to sail back, but we're actually going to sail back this way with the prevailing winds back to Nantucket. So we might actually find something here, because these whaling areas are actually closed now. So game saved. Obviously there's nothing here, but this is part of the game, is actually exploring. See the storm and perilous waters, so if you sail into these you actually suffer, but this is where your experience of your captain actually makes a big difference. Okay, we've got nothing there. We've obviously got something new here. Discover new whaling area, 72 days wait. I like this. Unveil the Falcon's destiny, so we're going to accept that. I think we're going to accept both actually, guys. I'm just going to have a quick look at the, because obviously we got a bit of prestige. I think we're going to stick with the crew that we got, unless we can find now this is a really good one for fighting narwhals. It's bandages. Effectively, if you can get somebody with this trait, it means that Timothy here would be ideal, although he's got -1 working attitude. But once you've got someone with bandages, you're actually, wouldn't say immune to dying, because there's different types, but things. We're just going to check, make sure we got 80 days, 95 days. Okay, we're just going to do okay. We're going to sail away, and I think we're just going to do these 2 missions, guys, and then this is where I'm going to wrap the video up, because I know it's getting a little bit long. But I hope you're enjoying the concept of the game. I know it's very repetitive, but it draws you in, and I can't understand it. In fact, it's one of these games where, how can you explain? So we got missions here, so new whaling, and of course you can go here. Wow, that's the Southern Ocean. That's going to take a little while to go, but we can go for this one. Okay. And right key. Yeah, it's one of these games that it just draws you in over a period. So if we sail to there, it's 15 days with the prevailing winds. Oh, there it is there. So we've now found it. Your lookout spots a ship in trouble in the distance. Approaching the ship, looks like one you're looking for. It's rapidly sinking in water floods with a big hole in the hull. So it says here, you can let us board the ship and save as many of the valuable goods as we can. That we've got a 50% chance of finding nothing, 40% chance of 300. Nothing found on the ship, and a random crew member dies. This is the one I actually think is really good, because you've got a 50% chance of getting prestige. So we're just going to grab that, and we got a little bit of prestige. I'm not going to sail into the harbour. And what we got here? Okay, and up here you've got the main mission. This changes there. So if you click here, it says here we've got to get to prestige of 25. I think I'm just going to sail away again. I think what we're going to do is it's April. This is 4 days. I think we're just going to kind of come round in a loop like this back to Nantucket. It's 23 days. We've got plenty of cash, guys. Plus we've got a reward when we get back. And you can see the food going down on the right hand side there, guys. See where the ship's slowed down? Because we're not actually in the main prevailing winds. And once we get here, it may slow down even more. Oh, we found whales. Okay. Okay. Certainly, I think we're going to have assign Mateus because he's got plenty of hit points, and I think we're going to have Wilbur. Now he's got smooth rowing. Smooth rowing is quite a good trait to have. So, wow, this could be interesting, guys. Stunned. Okay. And we're going to get a triple strike. And we got one. Fastened, resisted. Obviously the fastened doesn't really count because these are one strike kills, but once you get to the bigger whales, come here. Poor Wilbur's taking a beating. So is Ira. Okay. Tough strike. Okay. Oh wow, you're going to get a kill there. You only seem to get one per turn, which I think is a bit unfair because they have multiple strikes. Never mind. Poor old Ira. Okay. Hopefully. I think we're going to go for a spin here. Didn't get anything. Okay. Oh, we can actually get multiple strikes. Okay. That goes to prove how much I know. He should have healed himself, shouldn't he? Okay. There's poor old Wilbur here. Right. Give him another spin. And he didn't get anything. Okay. Poor old Wilbur might die in this one. Yep. Okay. Random sea creature gets stunned. Okay. That could be useful. Yeah, we got a strike. Actually, curiosity, guys. Oh no. We killed him anyway, so okay. And we got a nice haul of blubber and some food. So that's May. Oh, looks like we see the migration route here, guys. This is what the ship is actually following. So if you actually hunt the migration route, see? So if you find a migration route like that, you can actually hunt along the migration route. Okay, we're going to assign Wilbur. I'm going to have to take part because poor old... so we're going to have to do this. This is going to be a bit risky, guys. Oh, there's only two of them. Oh, we got a young one here, so we could be in trouble here, guys. Protective maneuver. We're going to do one on ourselves. I know it's not. Yeah. Round two. Okay. Immersed, so it can't be targeted by enemy attacks. So this one can no longer be targeted. But what we can do is actually strike here. So this is part of the strategy. There's a bit more to it than just getting lots and lots of harpooners and actually do it. And poor old Ira's taking a bit of a bashing. Crew member damage minus 20%. Alright, smooth rowing. Alright, he's got protective maneuver. And he can't. Oh, so if he comes. Okay, so I actually cancelled the ability to win. Okay, but this is how you live and learn, guys. Okay. Okay. Right, he's got the strike. That made the difference. See, so it's not all about piling up harpooners into here, guys. Okay. Right. I'm just gonna come into here by sailing back to Nantucket. And you can see we slowed down here. It says no prevailing wind, inactive mating season. Working shoulder by shoulder with one of your men, you notice a very annoying man. He complains about everything and is never happy about his shipmates. Hunter, so trait removed. So there's a 50-50 chance. We'll take it. So I've got the annoying trait. Okay. And you can see here we're now 5 days late going in. So again, it's something you've got to be careful. This is why you always need to carry surplus food. And we've made 236. And you can, and just to kind of show you guys, you can see here I've got the annoying trait now, -5. And you've got Oscar here. I'm just trying to find. What happens is you can have more than 2 traits. You can seem to have almost an infinite number of traits, guys. And we've got Wilbur. I don't know if we can get anyone else we can get. Wilbur's 4. I mean, that guy would be really, really good. But if he sacked him, we would lose the trait. So he'd only be 5. And just to... I think we should have got the researcher by now. Yeah, we're now level 2. That must have come up there. We've got 1500. So, of course, what you need to do now is actually think about... We go here. And I think if we click that, that actually restores more hit points per turn. So this is quite a good one to get. And obviously we've got this one here. Increased field of view, which gives more chance of discovery. I think I would probably go with that. And I think, well, we can turn that off. And we got more jobs. And we can get the reward for finding the falcons here. I mean, one thing I would say is I wish that you could get a few more jobs in here. I mean, we could go down to there now. I mean, we got the resources. I mean, you can see how low we got on food, so we could come here. 244 days, 136 days, 126 days. Now, I'll just sell off some of this. Now, if you wanted to do this mission, you can see it's 72 days away. So what you'd have to do is plan this by actually taking more food with you. So what you'd have to, oops, yeah, we're probably there. So you want to take effectively twice the amount of food with you is what you get. Just to illustrate it, guys, and I'll probably cut the video on doing this. Now, just to explain, guys, now see it's 72 days down, and we could do this in one go. We've got the food, so I'm just going to speed through this. You can actually run it at triple speed, and we're going to run down here. But see the counter wins. So, right, this is a mission. We're updating your log. One of the men knocks on your door. Sorry to interrupt you, Captain, but I ask you something important. My mother wrote to me. My old man's health is... So, where is that? That's actually over there. I think what we'll do is just a... I see nothing. Well, a lot of water in the hold. So back to standard rations. Okay. We're just going to go this way. I won't do this mission, but what I was trying to explain, guys, is because the winds, you'd get the what's called the easterlies here, but when you're coming up here, so you need to carry plenty of things. Hunting rats. Typhus. Guess we should give them poison food. There's rats. Chip food there. Random character. Hunter. Okay, we're just going to kill the rats. Poor old Ira's got typhus. I don't know what effect that will have on him. He's got typhus. Okay. You've been pushing one of your sick crew members to his limit. How do you feel? Well, okay, he's healed up. That's about what I was about to say, guys, is he can actually heal up. And it says here, you sail close to the town of the disaster, visit your home in order to see your dying father. Dock your ship the closest village. And of course we're at the Azores. Actually, I'm short of money. Again, the one you want, guys, is prestige. Yeah, we're actually in the Azores here. Right, just check how much we got in the way of food. We've got 101 days, 176 days. And we don't really have the food. I think I'm just waffling on now, guys. What we're going to do is, I think we'll just, actually, if we sail this way, and the ship can sail back while I'm actually talking, guys. I think this is where I'm going to wind the video up. Hope you enjoyed this brief overview and introduction to Nantucket. It's quite an absorbing game. If you want to see a Let's Play, feel free to add a comment. I'm thinking about it. The problem is going to be fitting it into my schedule, but I think it's quite an intriguing game to play. As we enter harbour, we didn't make any money, but we got a new issue of the paper. All your crew's injuries have been there. Nobody actually got an upgrade, and of course we could discover a new whaling system. Unveil the Lena's Destiny was obviously that's there because it's 38 days. Cancel, and we could then go off and actually find the Lena. And you can see I'm actually running out a little bit of food. Guys, remember the most important point is that when your captain dies, either because you run out of supplies or because he gets himself killed out in the longboats, the game is over. Look at that, the ship actually moves up and down. I haven't noticed that before. Anyway, guys, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.